done right here. Oh my gosh. How's it turn with the wheels in the air?
That was fantastic.
I love that.
It just hit it just perfect.
Next up, Bobby Labonte. We will watch Bobby Labonte and check in with Mr. Hammond.
Yeah, Larry McReynolds has been giving me a hard time, Kevin. I haven't had enough interviews today, so I figured I'd come get you, and you can kind of set him and DW straight about qualifying here at Infineon. In fact, the temperature's going down. A good draw today.
Well, you saw how much grief that he got last week during all of his interviews on pit road. So I hadn't seen him on pit road today, so I would assume he got kicked off after last week. But Shell Pennzoil car's been Chevrolet's been really good since we unloaded. This is all about hitting your marks and not making a mistake. So I got 1 ride out of 3 in practice. So hopefully we're 50% by the end of the day.
And guys, the thing is, the racetrack's cooling down. It's almost 8 degrees cooler when we started.
And I even bought one of his darn old T-shirts.
Oh, about the fire suit?
Yeah, he's still cracking on me.
I got to tell you, though, Larry, it doesn't look good on you.
It's a little small. A little small.
It just doesn't look good on you. I just want you to know.
Bobby has 17 starts here, best finish of 4th. He's done that twice.
I tell you, it's a good feeling when you get around turn 10 there with them in there and clean, the power down, catch 3rd, 2nd gear right here. Some guys maybe even all the way to 1st, and then really get it down, coming to the corner and coming to the line here. That's a good feeling when you know you made a pretty decent lap, and he has.
He did do that. 7th quickest for Bobby. You see the Adobe Road Winery on the hood of the car?
That's out here, right?
Yeah, Kevin Buckler
did not finish his lap, but of course he is locked in. And now, Darrell, the drivers who have that pressure, 46 drivers here for 43 spots, the number to the left where they were overall in practice.
Yeah, you know, and if you mess up, and if these guys here mess up, they just put the ramps down on the truck and drive it right on in the trailer.
That's a long way home, Larry Mack.
Yes, it is. I could not imagine. This is a brand new car for Max Pappas. They actually tested it at VIR, and they wrecked it, but they repaired it to bring it back out here. He had a good run here a year ago, actually finished 12th.
He did. Talking about drivers who have that pressure, Jeff Hammond standing by with Brandon Ash.
Yeah, Steve. Brandon, we're talking about the pressures of having to qualify for this race. You're going to be going out dead last. You're going to know what you have to do, but in practice, you were quick enough to get in the field. Can you back it up?
Well, I sure think we can. You know, the car's been this is the best car I've ever had here. It is nerve-wracking. My stomach's in knots pretty much all day, or even last week, for that matter. So we're going to give her hell, and I think we got enough to get in the show.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff.
Larry, this lap started going south down to turn 4. When he got across there, he didn't get across the curbing very well, lost a lot of time there, and almost missed 7, went way wide. See if he can pick it back up a little bit here on this end of the speedway.
Darrell, we talked to Pocono about how if you don't get through turn 3, it kills your whole next lap. Is that like here at Infineon? Can you make up time that you've lost?
I really think to set up and get through the S's with any kind of speed, it's how you get around turn 7 down there.
And just a reminder, road course qualifying, 1 lap and 1 lap only to go home.
Yep, slowest of the 3. Well, coming up, we're going to see Joe Nemechek, Michael Waltrip, and Dave Blaney.
Joe has only missed 1 show this year. He was 5th quickest of the go-or-go homers in practice earlier.
He only missed 1 show, but he missed that corner.
Joe made this race last year, but we mentioned Scott Speed crashed in his qualifying attempt, and they worked out a deal where Scott drove this 87 car.
You know the thing about Joe, I don't think he's one of those kind of guys that goes out there and says, okay, I got to be careful. I think he goes out there just like he's done his whole career. I'm going to set this thing on the pole. That's his mindset.
You know, Joe drove for Rick Hendrick, and it's nice to see HendrickCars.com on quarter panels and hood of this race car.
It's a great website if you're looking for a car. I tell you that. They got about 1,000 cars on there.
The little green slash now, that represents Max Pappas. If you can get to the left of that, you can lock yourself in. If you don't, that means Max Pappas will lock into this show.
Easy, Joe.
The headline news anchor.
grip in this car, looks like. It wants to slide to front.
Right now, he's right back there where J.J. Yaley is in that 46 car. J.J. is 33rd. He actually got through there pretty good. I don't know if he's going to beat Pappas, but it's going to be a good enough lap probably eventually to get him in the show.
Got close. Yeah, he did. Beat him.
Did lock him in. Joe Nemechek is
3-7-7-5-4-8. I want to talk about this paint scheme a little bit because Michael Walter was talking about that. Part of the Sponsify Your Ride contest that Toyota put up. Well, Faye Nape of Danbury, Texas was the grand prize winner. This artwork honors Nape's one-year-old grandson, Carson, who was born with neuroendocrine cell hyperplasia in infancy, which is a rare lung disease.
And what Faye did, this paint scheme, it features highlights of the outdoor where Faye hopes her grandson can play one day without having to wear that oxygen tank that has to be with him pretty much 24/7.
They came over to our shop there when we were in Charlotte.
The family did.
The family did, and the sweetest people in the world. And little Carson is he's just a real. Whoa, Mikey!
Hang on, buddy.
Whoa, Mikey! Whoa! That didn't work out so hot.
No, that's going to kill him all the way down through here, and now he's trying to make up the difference, and it won't work out.
Oh, he's all over the place now. But he said he had a brake problem, and apparently they didn't get it fixed. And I'll tell you, he better be careful down here on this end of the racetrack.
And Larry, in practice, that was exactly where he had that problem.
Especially down through the chute,
yes,
down into turn 7. But you know, back to this paint scheme, in this Toyota Sponsify Your Ride contest, over 77,500 designs and over 1 million votes were cast.
Oh, it blew them away. They had no idea that this contest was going to be as popular as it has been.
What I'm afraid, though, we might not see this paint scheme on this car on Sunday because his lap is just terrible.
Yeah, the brakes are locked 6 and 8.8 and 8.8. Gotta watch the old tracker. Sometime it'll trick you. Trick me at Charlotte. I know that with Ryan Newman.
A lot depending on what line you were running.
Here's our Doberman with a grenade in his mouth. And
nothing about a pin.
If you're Jeff Hammond, there's a pin in there.
That was an interesting approach to turn 11, come to take the green.
That was just a kind of a lazy little slide into that corner. Maybe he was just letting it do that to get some heat in the tire. We'll see.
But remember, Jeff Hammond did talk to him, and Boris said, I know I probably can run faster than I'll probably qualify, but I've got to get this car in the show.
Well, I don't think there's any question about the fact that we know Boris can get the job done. He's got a pretty decent automobile here. He should be able to get in the race all right.
David Strimmy will be back in this car next week at Loudon. Boris is running here as well as Watkins Glen in August.
So he also might run Daytona.
You know what? Those boys did mention that was a possibility. He ran the first 4 races of the year with this group. Little off just at the top of the S's there. If he can just get through here and not overdrive 10 or 11, he's going to be in great shape.
Boris is another one of those road racers who understands how you straighten these S's out to make max time, and I think he's doing a pretty good job of that. Just don't lose her here, Boris. He's looking pretty good.
Sat on the pole here in 2003.
Pretty much catch it right there with the throttle. When it starts to step out, nail it.
You know what I remember about his pole run? Dick Bergen putting on a said head wig.
He did do that, yes. Boris is going to be in great shape. In fact, I think he'll by far be the fastest of the go homers in this 26 car.
Yep, nice job.
17th quickest. That will lock him in.
Our final drivers to qualify.
For that race tomorrow.
So Brian Semo, Brandon Ash, and that will be it.
Brian was he was kind of right in the middle of the go homers in practice earlier. He was going to qualify for this race a year ago driving this 36 car, and the engine blew up going into turn 10. But Brian really has not been doing a lot of racing lately. I talked to him earlier, and driving the car here, possibly at Watkins Glen for Tommy Baldwin.
And Larry, again, I just want to point, I don't think you can really appreciate at home the elevation changes in this racetrack. As you come into the second turn there, that's an uphill climb. Right there where you just went down into 3 down there, that's downhill. Now you're really, really seriously downhill here, and that's why you have so much runoff room here, because you're carrying a ton of speed. Now you're pretty level here, not much elevation change. Got to get across here. You really ought to get up on that curb. It seemed like that was a hot tip for cutting this corner short. And then now from here all the way down here to turn 9, you're going downhill again and picking up speed, a lot more speed than you really feel like you are because of that very fact. You're headed down. You can see him go downhill right there.
Don't feel good about this lap so far. The little green stripe right now represents J.J. Yaley in that 46 car.
Going to have to pick up a bunch of time right off the exit here. Could be pretty hard to do. Did get the power down nice. He's getting out of there good, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, Darrell, the lowest point is down here in turn 11. The highest point is up there about turn 3 and 4.
Yeah.
It's about 150 feet difference in elevation.
So Brian Semo will not start.
Like his best car he's had in a long time, with the best shot at maybe making this race.
Yeah, they were at Phoenix earlier in the year, did not qualify, but he did qualify for this race here 1 year ago. Talked to his dad, Ed Ash, down in the garage area earlier this morning.
Anxious moments for Dave Blaney.
Now, Brandon ran a minute 18:30 in practice. He needs to run just a little over a half a tenth quicker than that, because Dave Blaney is a minute 18:24 with his lap. And that's what this right here represents. That right there is Dave Blaney.
So far, it's a clean lap. He just needs to be a little more aggressive. I think he's not attacking the course right now for someone that's got to get in this race. Way late there in a late entry, but he cut that curve pretty good. And see if it helps him get down through here. He's picking up a little time.
Yeah, he may be actually guilty of underdriving some of the corners.
Yeah, that's kind of what I feel like. Particularly the tight part of the course over there. Gave up a lot of speed. See if he can pick up any down here. I mean, you can gain a bunch right down through here. Get back in the gas hard. He's back in it. I don't think it's going to be enough, though.
He's going to really have to get off turn 11 good, and I just don't see it happening right here.
He's got too much to make up there. He's not going to make it. I think he could have been a little more aggressive in the tighter part of the course up to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then over to 7.
Good news for Dave Blaney. He is in. Brandon Ash not fast enough. So Brandon Ash, Brian Semo.